My name is Michael Pisciotta. I'm a certified crop advisor and a 4R nutrient management specialist. I also serve as the Director of Agronomy for the Southern U.S. for Timac Agro USA.
So what is this new product that Timac is launching in collaboration with Rainbow Plant Food?
Well, we're so excited to be able to introduce a new generation of grades for our facility in Americus, Georgia, known as Rainbow Plant Food. The grades are going to be called Blue. They're going to feature some new fertilizer efficiency tools that are going to elevate the already great level of precision nutrients and micronutrients offered by Rainbow Plant Food, so that ultimately growers can realize higher profitability, higher performance with a layer of protection to help be more environmentally sensitive.
Can you explain the technology behind it?
Absolutely. You know, a long time ago, people thought that fire was a tool. Some people look back now in today's modern society and think of fire as a technology. I think that is kind of the same essence of what we think about when we say the word technology. So it's important that we know and are explaining that these are natural substances. They're the most functional pieces of nature's tools for the soil. We have a large carbon complex that is very good at working with and chelating and actually protecting certain macronutrients like phosphorus from retrograde tie-up with calcareous and ferrous soils. But we also have a microalgae extract which works very similar to the way that natural root exudates work, where they're able to feed the soil microbe system, whether those are rhizobacteria or mycorrhizal fungi, and actually help them become more stimulated to feed them and help them upregulate nutrients to the root system.
Can you describe the word homogeneous when you talk about your product, and what does that actually mean?
Absolutely. So the Blue grade platform, we have protect and perform underneath almost every word mark, but the other part of this is precise. And so when we say precise, we don't necessarily mean the robotics or variable rate type irrigation equipment or fertilizer spreading equipment that's commonly referred to of precision agriculture. What we mean is that we're able to deliver all the macro and micronutrients within a certain grade of fertilizer into every prill. And so being able to deliver precise amounts of nutrients allow us to increase our efficiency, especially in banded type or in-furrow or close proximity applications for planting, and also that we're not missing through fertilizer distribution conversations when we go out with a spreader. Since all those materials have different densities and different sizes, a lot of them can become uneven in the field. And so by able to have a certain level of quality control, not only with the amounts of nutrients that we put in every fertilizer prill, but also the size, we're able to guarantee an even spread and an even distribution of all those nutrients where they're needed in the field.
Talk to the benefits and approach a grower needs to take so that Blue is part of their integral crop protection and their nutrient program.
Absolutely. As a 4R nutrient management specialist, I feel like there are certain timings and use cases where the Blue platform really serves a grower well. And pre-plant early bedded fertilizer and vegetables, certain top dress conversations of sandy soils, whether that's more of a pasture or a cotton situation. A lot of those have different soil dynamics where we can capitalize on some of these natural functional substances that we're adding to the Blue platform and really be able to maximize or capture nutrients or improve plant soil dynamics in a way that we weren't before with commodity fertilizers.
So who are your customers for this product?
Well, we are going to be working through distribution with this product, but the one thing that I want to mention is that these grades are customizable. So if you're a grower and you would really like a homogeneous type of fertilizer that has a certain nutrient composition, we're able to capture that through our manufacturing facility in Americus, Georgia. So really, we want to hear from growers and distributors alike, because ultimately we're in a position where we can customize and be flexible on what this looks like heading into the field and how we serve growers.
So when customers have some very unique needs, they probably have their own advisors, but can they talk directly to you for that information?
Absolutely. One thing that I want to mention that is a through line, if you will, between Rainbow Plant Food historically and the legacy that Rainbow has in the Southeast, as well as Timac Agro, is our field staff. For the last 100 years, Rainbow has had a unique approach to serve the grower and to really find out what those growers' needs were to develop these homogeneous grades of fertilizer. Timac Agro has a field staff in place to be able to really help implement and get these types of technology platforms adopted in the field. And I do think that that's the difference between a company like Timac Agro that already has many products in the field. Rainbow Plant Food is, I would consider, in the same line of that, versus other ag tech startups that have great ideas, because there's a lot of those in the field right now, but the difference is our team with Timac Agro and Rainbow Plant Food are ready to go and help get this conversation going at the farm level.
Let's talk about that word sustainability a little bit, because whether they're farmers today, retailers, cooperatives, any variety of companies are creating sustainability plans.
Right.
How does this fit in for them?
Well, I think that's a great question, because what I would look for is something that's practical to implement, because I think that's what we've done with the Blue platform, is take a couple of very practical tools which we know can benefit and minimize phosphorus and nitrogen runoff, and we can really reduce nitrate leaching. And so when we talk about how we really discuss those 4R mentalities, by having the tools built in, it helps us get more in line with the 4R nutrient management, no matter how we're going to go out, because we already have those tools that can kind of fight some of these loss pathways built in. So I would look for practical ways as far as distribution points go to say, you know, these are more sustainable tools and natural tools that provide the best forms of nature. Kind of like there's different types of soils. Sandy soils have different issues than heavy Midwest clay soils. And so we're able to take some of the best parts of even soil and really develop platforms in every prill.
Speaking of innovation, you have a partnership with TMax Innovation Center.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that and the legacy of Rainbow involved in all that.
Well, I'm really excited about that, because being from Georgia, I see the long history that Rainbow Plant Food has in the Southeast of serving growers and really taking the tools that growers need to the average farmer and being able to elevate their crop production and performance. I feel like the Global Center of Innovation, also known as the CMI for the Roulier Group, has the same concept in mind. They want to be able to elevate the average grower into more profitability and higher performance through the technology and the development of their R&D center.
Describe for us this collaboration with Rainbow Plant Food.
We currently own and operate 18 different granulation facilities around the world. Rainbow Plant Food, when we acquired them in December of 2021, was our first domestic US-based granulation facility. This next layer of innovation looks like us bringing some Timac Agro tools and technologies into every fertilizer prill that's produced within the Blue grade platform.
Well, before we close the interview, is there anything we didn't touch on that you would like your customers to know?
The story of Rainbow is one of service, and I feel like that is in line with Timac Agro and the Roulier Group's mentality of serving the farmer and prospering the farmer. And I look back at just fertilizer innovation over the last 20 or 30 years, and I don't see a whole lot of innovation in the field, and even things that are good ideas, as we've seen recently, may not even be able to be profitable or practical for a grower to implement in their programs. What we've tried to do with Blue as a platform, a fertilizer platform, is to implement things that may seem small, but these tools are tested. These active substances and natural substances have been tested for the better part of 3 decades within the Roulier group and the CMI. And we feel very confident on how we can bring those to the field and the ROI and profitability that growers will see by using those. So I would just like to say that I feel like Blue is a tool for service to not only growers, but the environment. And we focus a lot on the word sustainability, but farmers have to be environmentalists at their heart, because ultimately, if we don't preserve the soil and the land, we're not going to be able to farm the next generation or the next 2 generations, because we need to do all the things that we can do to help that. And you know, there's no one answer, but a small step in the right direction is what we're hoping for.
Well, thank you very much, Michael, for your time visiting with me here. I'm Chuck Zimmerman reporting.